Hello and welcome back to Grace.Filled. I am so excited to be back with you guys for another video. If this is your first time here, I just want to welcome you and just say I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule and life to come and watch one of my videos. It means so much to me. And please make sure you leave a pink heart in the comments so that I personally can just greet you and again say thank you. In this video, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to be filling some containers because I had something new to come in, but also I had some empty containers. I also did a pantry tidy. I did some dishes. I started on some broccoli soup, and the star of the show is I got to use my mixer for the first time, and I made some amazing cookies that were oatmeal craisin. It's a modified recipe from Becky over at AcreHomestead, and I am so excited to jump into this video. And if you know me, you know I have to leave you with something encouraging, inspiring, and motivating for your home, your life, all the things. So we all get empty sometimes, and sometimes we need to refill ourselves, just like you see me refilling these jars. Now, you saw that I filled the 5-gallon bucket, I filled a glass jar, I filled this old oatmeal container because all these vessels needed to be filled. They all needed to be filled with the new items because they were empty vessels. And I think that's what the Sabbath does. It gives you the time that you need to be still as the empty vessel so that you can be filled. So I took everything out of the closet and I cleaned the bottom of it. I just swept it and got on my hands and knees and just wiped it with a cleaning rag. And I just refilled all of the buckets and put them back in place. The outside, as far as the labels, really doesn't matter. It's really what's on the inside that matters. That's going to feed us and sustain us during the winter and during challenging times. I do have some labels on the top, but I noticed that with the labels on top, I still have to kind of pull the bins out to tell what's inside. So this time I just took a dry erase marker and just wrote on the outside to be an additional help. So also in life, sometimes we can notice that we're a little bit dirty. Like, it could be a lot of things that get us dirty. It could be our thinking. It could be our mouths. It could be what we're watching, what we're eating, the things that we're doing in secret. There's a lot of things that can get us dirty. And sometimes we just need to be cleaned. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm cleaning these dishes. They are beautiful dishes. They serve their purpose. They were there from an amazing breakfast. They're beautiful. They're new. They have value, but they were dirty because we already used them and we're not going to throw them away. We're just going to wash them and then put them away so that we can use it. And so I feel like just like that, sometimes we are being clean, like we have already been washed and we're in that sink waiting to be rinsed and dried and put away. And that's what I call those middle grounds. I call that the waiting period. And if that's the season that you find yourself in right now in your life, I just want to encourage you that your time is going to come. Sometimes when we're waiting, it's hard because sometimes we are so excited. We are so ready to move. We're in expectations. Oh man, we are just anticipating every single thing. But sometimes when we're in the waiting process, we are stagnant and we're like, oh, I'm afraid. I don't want to move. I'm not sure about this. I don't know if this is a good idea. Should I really do this? Did I miss it? Did I get it right? And we begin to second guess ourselves, second guess our decisions, and all the things like that. And I just want to encourage you just to trust the process. We don't have to understand. We don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to have all the knowledge. We don't have to have a 4.0 plan and a whole blueprint. No, just be obedient. Just be, just trust. Just have trust and have faith. Do what you're supposed to be doing. Be obedient. It's just really that simple. Because just like you see here, I'm adding butter to my pot, right? Who wants to eat butter from a pot? Like, that doesn't sound very appetizing, especially if I'm hungry, if I'm starving. Butter does not sound very appealing to me. But when you add a little bit of flour, I'm like, okay, it's still not enough. It's still not substantial, right? But as you continue and you add onions, and as you add some carrots, and as you add broccoli and all the seasonings, and then you put the top on there and you give it time to simmer, you add milk and veggie broth, that is when you begin to see the masterpiece come together. It's during the process, but you don't know what's going to come together sometimes until the end of the process, until the very end of the thing. And often we want to know the end before we start. But sometimes the beauty is just starting and then seeing the ending. So if this is you in that waiting period, I just want to encourage you to just stay the course. And when it's time, you will see the end result, and it will be beautiful, and you will be beautiful. So in the next video, I think I'm going to be sharing about like how homemaking is a process and how it's a journey and how it takes time. Like, it takes time and intentionality to put it together, especially if you're on a budget and if you're thrifting, things are going in order of priorities. I remember my first year, I was able to get a canner and some jars. My second year, I was able to get a Berkey. This third year, I've been able to get a mixer. And it seems like once a year, I'm able to get one item for my kitchen that's really beneficial and it's really helpful. And I think I want to share that journey because sometimes when you're watching videos and looking at media and people, accounts and things like that, it can seem like they have everything and all the things, but you don't always know the story. You don't always know the sacrifice. You don't always know the true cost. And you don't know how long it took for them to get what they got and to get where they are. And they typically don't share that, but I think that transparency really helps and heals, and it helps us just to really be more content. Even though we know we shouldn't covet, sometimes if we're honest, we do secretly wish that we had something, or we just in our hearts cannot wait. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because the Lord does tell us He will give us the desires of our heart. But I just want to share in that video just about kind of even my story and even some of my struggles, as far as how I didn't even want to share my videos because I feel like my cooktop, I can never get it clean enough. And as soon as I clean it, I'm making another meal and it just gets dirty again. I make typically 3 meals a day. And I just gave up just trying to keep that thing pristine. When we are finally able to update our kitchen, I probably will get like a black cooktop. But just the intent is just to encourage you. You know, I don't have a showroom kitchen, like I said, for years. You know, I didn't even really want to share my kitchen because it doesn't look like some of the other kitchens, right? Like, I don't have all the fancy this and that. But then I had to tell myself, like, that is a trick of the enemy, because you have what you need and what you have is beautiful. And what makes it beautiful is the fact that you take time to clean it, and the fact that you would spend hours making cookies and hours baking something, hours organizing the pantry, making sure that things are stocked, making sure that things are available on the shelf so that we're not running out, so that I'm not in the middle of cooking and we don't have something. Like, that's wisdom. And not only that, but that is really thoughtful and intentional planning. And that is the kind of thing that should be commended, you know, and not so much, oh, this particular type as far as granite or marble, but it should be more like, a heart that's willing. It should be more like a mama who's willing to get up and to cook and to prepare, and who's tired but doesn't want to go to bed while they're tired, because they want to stay up and give what they have to their family and their household. And here I am just rejoicing because It's my first time with this mixer and I just got it to work. And when I asked a couple friends which ones they recommended, a lot of people said this one wasn't good because it was hard to use it. It wasn't as user friendly and it wasn't as easy. And this is only my first time using it, but I will say I was able to just get it on and off very easily. And so for the price difference, oh, this was totally worth the investment. And so I just want to throw that out there. If you are deciding between the stand and a tilt head, the stand mixer is typically $100 cheaper than the tilt head. Listen, from my perspective, I say go ahead and get the stand mixer. It's amazing. So back to my story. Basically, I was just saying in the upcoming video, I've already started working on it. I kind of just I'm going to take you around my house and just share with you all the changes that I've made over the 3 years that we've been here. I haven't still been able to upgrade anything in the house, but you know what? I have such a peace about that now because what I have been able to do is make this place work for us. And so I have changed rooms. I've changed the locations of things. I've switched things around in the kitchen. Whatever I needed to do to make it fit and the needs of my family, that's what I've done. And so I just really want to encourage you guys to not get caught up in the aesthetics of a thing, but really to stay focused on the heart of a thing. I always say, why do you do what you do? Heaven is watching us. The angels are keeping a record. And I tell you, a home with fresh baked goodies and a lot of love, with prayers, with songs and music playing that smells good with lots of hugs and kisses will triumph any showcase model type house with all the luxuries and updates and gadgets and gadgets. But we know they're not called gadgets, but my point is what really matters. And that's what you do. That's what you give. That's what you provide. That's what you share. That's what matters. That's what homemaking is. So I don't even know what I'm going to call this. But I just wanted to share what was on my heart. And let me tell you what, these were the best oatmeal cookies. Oh my goodness. If not the first, then totally the second ones I've ever tasted. And hands down, they're the best vegan oatmeal cookies I have ever had in my life. They're the best vegan cookie I have ever had in my life. So I do hope to come back really soon. I wanted to try something with this. And so I'll come back and I'll share the recipes and we can just bake and all that together. I wanted to test it out first. I wanted to test out my mixer first and all the things, but I just appreciate you. I love you. You can do a lot with the little. And until the next video, blessings. If you have more time, make sure you check out another video or one of my playlists.